Ooh, I love when it's super duper bright on my eye. That's awesome, guys. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going through another video about my eye and stuff like that. You guys expressed some questions about the scleral shell and stuff like that. And so last week when we talked, the scleral shell was causing me pain and stuff like that. And we found the culprit of it, and we'll tell you guys what's going on later about it. But first, I want to talk about the drops I use for my eyes every single day. So the pink one, the one with the pink cap, is called prednisolone. That helps with keeping the pressure in your eye at a stable area, kind of. It's not perfect. It will go ahead and, like, my eye tends to jump around in pressure a lot, going from probably below 10 to going above like 30 and stuff like that. But this will help keep it in the range of like 23. The normal range for an eye is about 18 and stuff like that, so this definitely helps. Basically, the lower your pressure gets in your eye, the more spongy it gets, and the softer it gets, pretty much. And the more pressure it gets the harder the eye gets. And basically, what that is the reason why it gets softer and harder is because of blood flow. Basically, if there's not enough blood flow to the eye, then your pressure goes down. Basically, normal blood pressure, like that's how you can test it too. If your eye becomes hard, then that means you have too much blood in it, and then it could bleed. That's what this controls. 3 times a day I have to do it. So basically, I do it before I put my contact in, and I do it. I try to do it 2 times a day. Just when I put my contact in, or before I put my contact in, and then once when I take it out. This one only has to do, this red one right here is called atropine. I only have to do it 1 time a day. This thing keeps my eye healthy, so we don't have to take it out. So that's basically what you have to do. But you want to go ahead and do 1 drop, spaced 5 minutes apart and some of that. So we're going to do the first drop, and I'll cut the video when we do the other drop. So every single day, you bring up your top eyelid, you put it in just like that. The white drop is already in there, which is basically prednisolone. So this will keep the pressure in my eye stable. So when we go to put the contact in, we don't have to worry about stuff like that. So the culprit in the contact and why it was my eye was burning so much is because we were using redness drops. I'll show you guys which one we were using in a second when we get out of here. But the thing is, I was using incorrect drops. The ones I was using basically not only took the redness away, but actually promoted it. It's weird how it works. It's, for an eye like mine, it's not a good product, I would say. Basically what my eye needs, because it lacks producing fluid as well, is I need one that's more of like a lubricant type of eye drop, and that allows my eye to move freely with the contact and stuff like that, so it doesn't hurt. And also when we went to the eye doctor on Wednesday, basically I talked to Bev, my Ocularist, and basically they made the divot in the contact more prominent, and we also cut down some corners a little bit if they were irritating and stuff like that. So we're pretty much right there, because we had to wait another week and stuff like that. It sucks. I was telling you guys that we might have to wait another week, and we did. I go tomorrow at 12, and the thing is, if I put the lubricant drop in, then everything moves smoothly and there's no pain, no discomfort anywhere. But without the drop, then I feel discomfort when I move when I'm in a cornea, when I look to the right, and you're not supposed to do that. Basically, you want to put the contact in without having to put any lubricant in. So basically, that means that, yes, the lubricant helps and stuff like that, but you want to have an eye that you don't have to put a lubricant in every single morning before you put the contact in. So we have to do a little more shading down. The thing is, my eye was already irritated last week when we went in, so we didn't want to put it back in, so we didn't really test that out right away. This week, because we now know kind of what's going on, so like I said before, the lubricant, if I do the drop before I put the contact in, there's no irritation at all. If I just put the contact in straight away after my drops, then there's irritation for about an hour and a half, and that's not normal. Usually, the scleral shell will try to find its place in your eye, and that's when the irritation stops, but it doesn't take an hour and a half. It's supposed to take 5 minutes minimum, or even right away, pretty much. So you're not supposed to move it around at all in there. That's what I used to do. By that point, if you're touching your eye, you get bacteria in it, so it's not worth it. Just let it find its way and find itself into the correct spot. But anyways, I've been talking for 5 minutes. Sure, I know it's not quite 5 minutes, but it's 3 minutes. It's good enough. I'm going to do the other drop now. There you go. It's coming out a little bit. Let's take my shirt and I'm just gonna dab the corner. I'm not touching my eye though, I'm just dabbing where the stuff came out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. We switched out our eye drops for Refresh Tears lubricant eye drops. These ones are our new ones. These ones work way better than these old clear eyes. Basically what it does, when I talk about triple relief, when I told you guys last time this is what I use, it actually made my eye worse. So basically do not use these if you have an eye that has a lot of pressure differences and stuff like that. And this, if you have a scleral shell that isn't feeling comfortable, talk to your ocularist about it. They'll figure it out. But do not use these drops. I advise you not to. Use something that's a lubricant that keeps the liquid inside of your eye, because this thing removes the liquid inside of your eye, basically getting rid of any irritation, any liquid irritation that was going on, but in turn actually made your eye worse. These things are good to use. The MetaFirst is good to use for putting this on the contacts and stuff like that. This thing is almost empty, but I'll do more multi-purpose. You put this in the container every single night. So you go through bottles kind of quickly, about every 2 to 3 weeks. It's not horrible, but I wouldn't advise this one either. And these are the two things I would not advise: the clear eyes and that soap. Nothing wrong with the soap really, but this soap is just better. If you can find it, you can only find it on Amazon, I believe. But this is probably the best for the contacts, where you put 1 drop of soap on the contacts, and then you wash it in between your fingers with that and stuff like that. That's how it works. We got our other bottle of multi-purpose solution, so we can put it in there, so we have another 3 weeks of putting it in there. As for right now, I gotta wash my hands. I'm gonna bring the tripod in here. Hopefully it stays like that, but what you want to do first is go ahead and grab this. My eye is in here. I got this mat over here because we don't have a thing for this. So you pour out this first, just a little bit of it. Turn on the washer. Basically all the stuff can escape. Put your hands in a little bit of water, and get out of the way just so it stays down a little more. There we go. Wash your hands. Some soap on there. This is very important you do before you put the eye in, is make sure that you get no bacteria in your eye. This is a zero fragrant soap, so basically there's no irritation that can be caused by it unless you leave the soap on your hands. What you want to do now is wash off the soap. You want to reduce the amount of bacteria in there. So like I know this is very, like the stick itself is kind of gross. So you just dry off your hands now with the cloth. Put it in the palm of your hand. Now it's in the palm of my hand. Let me turn this light and actually make it easier for you guys to see it a little bit. Put in the palm of your hand. We'll take 1 drop of soap right over here and put it on the spray shawl. Just 1 drop, nothing too crazy. A little bit more maybe. It might be a little too much, but that's like roughly 1 drop. Now what you do, you take it in your hand and you rub this together. Between your fingers and stuff like that. You get everything coated and stuff like that with soap. It's a little slippery, so you don't want to lose this. What you do is put this over here. Just do a little colder water, nothing, well, like lukewarm, maybe nothing hot, because it could melt the acrylic. Just do it nice and slow. Make sure you get all the soap off. If you anything that's like, you shouldn't feel any like soapiness on here. If you do, then make sure you wash it thoroughly. This water is getting too hot, so you want to turn it over. If it gets too hot, then you turn it over just a little bit. You don't want it too cold. You don't want it too hot. If you get cold, you can shock at your eye. You just want a nice, nothing too hot, nothing too cold, just right in between. If it's too cold, it can shock your eye. If it's too hot, it can shock your eye. It can melt the contact. It's not worth doing it. So now, the contact is done. The soap is off. You can turn this off now. Just wipe off my hands a little bit. Put this in the palm of your hand again. Take the stuff right here. Take off the cap. Go ahead, bam. Put some liquid on there. This is the MetaFirst. Just keep the eye clean. That gets off the residual stuff if need be. Do the front a little bit. Move around a little bit. And now for the fun part, now we got that. I want to turn this camera up and use the cloth. It's a little more. Okay, we'll try it out. But anyways, basically the top of the scleral shell is where, let's see if we can show you guys in the camera. Where's the camera at? Can you sense on their camera, please? Okay, so the top of the shell is where the hole is. You guys can see that. So what you do now is go ahead and place it between your fingers. Lift up the top of your eyelid. Bring this up to your eye. Give it kind of straight. Look down. Move from the bottom. Look down. Look at the bottom of your eyelid, and it's in place. So you'll probably feel some irritation right when you put it in. As for me, I don't have enough liquid behind my eye right now. There's a little bit. So what I could do now is take a little more of this lubricant and go ahead and put another drop in. Bam. And it looks like I'm crying a little bit, but I'm not. It's just residual stuff. And like when I look over to the right, I can feel on my cornea irritation. But anywhere else, like today, it's definitely irritation. I can feel it, but it's not like horrible, you know. And it'll go away normally within soon, like you can see. So what the problem is you can see my cornea. It's kind of rubbing on my eye a little bit, like you see that air pocket right there, or what looks to be an air pocket. It might be an air pocket, it might not be. It's either the bubble or it might be a liquid. I can't really tell, but you want liquid to be in there. You want the air pocket to be on the outside. So basically what it means, it might mean that my cornea is rubbing on the contact. But yeah, it's not too bad. See, you might hear a little click, and that's just the fluid like getting around my eye. It's kind of creepy.